Hey, it's Big Jeff coming with you another unboxing.
This way you can see it before you buy it.
And I'm sure you're noticing a lot of videos for B2 Audio. There's a ton of new product, and we came in as one of the distributors and also marketing deals. So we do the videos and market products. So kind of cool I get to get it. Hit that like button. Leave a comment now. You can always leave one later on, and definitely share this out. That's what I do for the road name, bigjeffaudio.com name. So do that for me. Today, we are talking about some new products. This is the Rage CFMs. So B2, couple things they're changing when they came back to USA. One, when we first talked, I said, hey, you know, some manufacturers sell stuff in pairs, some sell them separately. We need to sell the stuff in pairs, right? It's always confusing. They see the pictures, and generally people buying, they buy two, right? Or more, unless they're replacing one. And at that point, we just need to sell packages. So everything in this case, and there is an 8-inch version, we're talking about the 6 right now, does come in pairs. So the price tag of $139.95 is for a set. So once we start talking about this, you will say, hey, that's really not that bad of a deal. Now, second thing that B2 Audio was doing is they wanted to start slowly getting into that off-road, side-by-side, you know, power sport world, okay? But that world is still the same thing as car audio, except that stuff just needs a little bit more abuse. It needs to be at least water resistant and UV protected. It doesn't have to be waterproof. Properly done in this case, you'll see that you could seal this up good and water would not hurt it at all, because basically the outside is covered. Now, here is a set of the Rage 6 CFM, and the first thing you should notice is that shiny
It's so shiny
look, which we'll get a close-up in a little bit, which is carbon fiber. And there's some woofers now that are carbon fiber. People really digging it. I think it's a great look. There's like a double surround here that is more like rubber, okay? So definitely water resistant.
It said water resistant.
This is UV coated, so the sun's not gonna hurt it. Still has the quality of B2 Audio. And the cool thing I learned from Jay is in Europe, they really don't have mid-range, mid-bass and all that. It's called loudspeakers or full range. Designing in Europe is for a full range speaker to play all of it. Now, do some play a little bit lower than others? Yes, there is like the PWRs and some other stuff you'll see in videos that will play lower, but they generally have a huge range that they will play. Okay, so a couple things about this. One, for $139.95.
That is an awesome offer. All right.
You're going to hear this later. We were doing a unboxing video for a Neo tweeter, and I said, hey, let me do the two separate unboxings, but we'll do the testing together so you can hear it together.
Now there's an idea.
What amazes me on all the loudspeakers I've tested so far is it almost sometimes sounds like it has a tweeter because it just goes so high in that frequency range. So adding the tweeter just puts it over the top. So $139.95 for a set. Looking at the pamphlets here. 6.5-inch, 90.2 dB. Let's see here. 250 watts max, 80 watts RMS. So I know, and I talk about this all the time, more power doesn't mean better. Less power sometimes means more efficient. And if you can get something screaming and clear with less power, why not?
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Why have to have thousands and thousands of watts? So from the specs, from the factory saying, hey, give this thing 80 watts and it's going to do its job. Okay, frequency response. Today we're talking about the full range, 90 hertz to 8 kilohertz. Okay, so why do I want to match this up with the Neo tweeters that you'll see here in a little bit? Well, those are in that 3 to 10K start. So if you're trying to put a system, the object is to get all the frequencies, right? From the bottom to the top. So if you're putting speakers together like tweeters and drivers, you want to have an overlap so when you set the crossover points you really don't miss anything, right? Because if you didn't, there would be a gap and you would lose a big amount of quality and output during that gap. So perfect setup with this and the Neos I'm about to test with them. Okay, let's see. Voice coil 1.5 inch, ferrite magnet, carbon fiber, which we talked about, which is really cool. You can feel it. Baffle cutout 5.67, and the mounting depth, which is really cool, and I think that helps out for power sports for sure, or car doors. Mounting depth is only 2.28.
That's awesome!
It's really thin. Okay, I'm just going to jump to the up close and personal cam.
Up close and personal engaged.
All right, first thing I want you to see, look at that gloss. I know the lights are hitting it, but that's real carbon fiber. Even when you hit it, it sounds different. It feels like it's light. I can't explain when you touch it. Then you have that double surround there. Excuse my screwed up fingernail. You have the B2 stamp logos, not push terminals, but I will say that this is sturdier than normal. It's not cardboard. A lot of times that's cardboard. They break off, humidity, everything else. That is actually like a type of plastic, so that's pretty strong.
It's very strong.
Very strong.
Very strong. And you can see how slim mount this thing is, okay? So, inside...
Oh, no, you didn't!
Get into the voice coil, you can actually see some of the coil. You have that grill mesh there so it doesn't suck anything up into it. Man, this thing's just a really nice looking speaker. Okay, let's go back to here. So, set of these, $139. I've seen Neo versions kind of like this without the carbon fiber in the $200 range. So $139. I know B2 Audio is not known for budget or inexpensive, but they are working with that. But I would definitely pay, and after hearing this, $140 for that carbon fiber look and sound. So what we're going to do is get this hooked up on the bench, play these, play the tweeters, play them together, and really hear that sound. And I know it's not much, but I usually do a walk back, kind of get an idea of the range. Remember, Pro Audio was designed more for stadiums and clubs and all that, so it was made to project. And the further back you go, the more it opens up. So it kind of is a narrow wave and then opens up. So the reality is when people do walk behind from the doors or the trunks, the further they get back, it seems like it opens up even more and more because it starts to open up. That's the way it's designed. That's why we use it. Now, from the days of Imminence and that, we have gone past that because with designing technology and everything else, they made this more used for car audio world to have a wider range, more mid-bass, things like that. It all used to be paper cone, right? Okay, and I still like paper cones, a nice slap, but they're not really made for the outdoor environment, even in a car. They're made for more indoor climate control. Stepping in the carbon fiber, that is an awesome look. Tough, strong, water resistant. So I can't wait to hear these. I'm Big Jeff from BigJeffAudio.com. If you haven't done it yet, hit the like button, leave a comment, and with Movie Magic, next time you see me, we'll be over on the test booth. Hey, Movie Magic, and I'm back. Remind you always hit that like button, share this out. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Follow, like, doesn't cost you nothing. And it helps support the BigJeffAudio.com name. So, as I said in the unboxing, I got, and there's only so much you can do with this type, but what I do have is I have that 6-inch carbon fiber. I do have the Rage ST Neo. So this part of it will be in both videos, depending on which one you're watching. What I also did is I hooked up the AM1 for us to get an idea of power. Now, cool thing I wanted to show you at, even though forum tweeters don't really have, like you can have a bunch of tweeters, it's really not going to change the impedance too much. It's not like putting two forum speakers together and it drops down to 2 or less. Obviously, multiple tweeters would cause enough resistance. But in this case, you can see that it is reading about 3.9 on the SMD. So what I do have is right now both hooked up. And I did this so you can see kind of how much power will be going through them. And we will disconnect each one so you can hear the difference in the sound. Hopefully, the video, I try my best on that. Depends if you're listening in headphones or on your car stereo or whatever, but I know people love this stuff. So that's what we're going to do. So let's check this out. We have the CFM carbon fiber 6-inch, the Rage ST Neo, which we're talking about power, and ratings on the power were like 75 watts here and a total of about 100 something watts there. or excuse me, 80 watts. And it's like, hey, that's not a lot of power. But let's hear the output because these are very efficiently designed. Here we go. I'm talking at normal volume right now, and it is hard to hear me over there. Okay, so first thing, I did disconnect the tweeter and then I disconnected the driver. I'm gonna do that back without the tweeter because I wanna show you how much of a range that 6-inch really does play. Now, will it have that sound? No, that's where the tweeter comes in. But for mid-bass, mid-range, and upper, that bad boy right there is killer. Also, you can see the amount of power putting through here, and I was talking through it at this volume, and it was hard to hear me. So I am gonna disconnect the tweeter right now, put the track back on, have you hear the mid-range. I'm gonna put the tweeter back on, and then I'm gonna walk back so we get an idea, and I will grab my trusty, well, this is not the up and close personal. This is called the, what do we call this one?
Big Jeff Cam.
Big Jeff Cam. All right, let's do it. Here we go. Okay, so the first part that you saw that little speaker was taking some power. That boy could take it and it really opens up. Second, when I started, tweeter wasn't even on. I don't think you really noticed till I actually put the tweeter on. So that is incredible to put those in your doors, either in a vehicle or a side-by-side or power sports or whatever, and have that type of full range. I'm gonna do it one more time without the tweeter. And now that you're really thinking about it, you're gonna hear that difference, but the reality, it sounds like it was on. Disconnect the tweeter, going back on, here we go. All right, let's go back. Okay, so what have we figured out here? One, it will play at low volume, very efficient, but it will take that power and it really opens up. Two, the 6-inch and the 8-inch is basically the same, just a larger surface area, so you probably get a little more mid-bass, mid-range out of it. But that plays very high on the scale that until actually probably you thought about what I was saying, you didn't even notice the tweeter came off. But then the tweeter is very high pitched, but it is clear. You can hear it. And I think we're gonna do one more without the driver. I'm gonna pause, I'm gonna try one more thing. Oh, it was starting to register, okay. So it just needed to get that juice. Let me get it going again, sorry about that. Okay, that's really friggin' loud. 52 watts, 40 watts. That is super, super crisp. Super crisp. Okay, so let's head back over to the bench real quick and I'm gonna wrap this up. I'll be right back as quick as we're back. Okay, so I just love doing that, even though I know it's stupid. But anyway, thank you for watching this. So yeah, depending on which video you're watching, you're either watching the unbox for the Rage CFM or you're watching the unbox for the Rage ST Neo, but both unboxings did testing together. And just to collab all this together, pretty inexpensive, 140 bucks for a set of these, 90 bucks for a set of those, crisp, clear, loud, and even without the tweeter, this new carbon fiber sounded incredible with a huge range. And put in a 250 watt max, it took that no problem, with no problem, but also under 100 watts was screaming in here. And then you saw to even jump up on the AM1 meter, we had to get some juice going. 50 watts all day long, no problem. 150 watts max, I really wouldn't push this thing that hard. I don't think you need to, because at 50, 60 watts, this thing was wide open. And if I was going to go above that, it wouldn't be with a cap and it wouldn't be together, because remember, if you're sending power together, it's the same amount of power going here. When you bi-amp or tri-amp, you separate the amp, you can adjust the gain settings, basically the voltage to each one separately, because this obviously is going to handle way more power than this, and that's where people blow things up. And if you blow it up, that's fine. Get used to replacing diaphragms, because you're not going to say it came out of the box that way. You just blew it up that way. Okay, listen, I'm Big Jeff from BigJeffAudio.com, representing also B2 Audio and B2 Audio USA. We got plenty more videos coming of a lot of new product that just hit the US. If you didn't see it, check it out. There's a promo video for B2 Audio and USA, and we're in it unloading a container we got from them. So there's a ton of stuff, and hopefully you become part of the B2 Audio family. We just found out they signed up some new sponsored people for shows and some new dealers, and you know, hopefully the brand, this is its year to grow. So check out my videos, make sure you hit that like, comment, and share this out. That's for free. That just helps. If you don't like the video, that's all right, still hit me a like. It's not going to cost you anything. And maybe check the next one. I'm Big Jeff from BigJeffAudio.com, signing off.